we're rolling. And we're doing Tanner's fiddle video here. And we want to see his fingers on that bow. Arch forward. That's pretty darn good. Let's see here. All right. He's smiling. That's him. All right. Now the only thing I could say from looking at it, you can arch those fingers forward a little bit like we talked about, so they aren't just straight up and down. There you go. Lay them down a little bit on top of the bow. Okay. I think that is looking very good, buddy. Do you look like a fiddle player? Yeah, I think you look like a fiddle player to me. All right, now I'm going to do it. That's Tanner doing his own, so you can see what you're doing. Now I'm going to do the same thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand up here, but everything's backwards like this. So the difference between how Tanner's doing it and I'm doing it is Tanner's kind of going like this, straight up, and it still looks very good. He's got a little finger on top of the bow. He's gripping it between, the thumb is at the end of the frog here, the tip of the frog, and then this middle finger goes to also kind of to the, well, it doesn't have the, let's see here, it doesn't go quite to the tip of the frog. It just goes kind of behind it, behind the tip of the frog, see? Here's the tip of the frog, and it goes just kind of behind it, while the thumb goes in front of it. So really, you have those two fingers are the center part. Then you put your little finger on the end of the bow, and this index finger, it doesn't have to go straight up like this, or you want to lay it down at about in between that first and second knuckle, and you look like you're doing great, but the only thing is you were going to kind of like this. See that, how that looks, Tanner? Here's what I want you to do. Watch my whole hand. And so what I'm doing is this finger is going to lay down, that index finger, lay down almost on its side, isn't it? It's almost on its side. And then that index finger will be what makes me able to push down, push down, push down, and the pinky will make it go woo, woo, woo. See that? And that's how I can get control of the bow. So that is that. And then when we are going to draw it, we're going to draw that. I don't have my chin rest, but you don't have yours, so we've got to be equal. Okay? You can play without a chin rest. It is possible, but it's just a little bit different. So now, it looks like I need to up that a little bit. What I want to show you is, here is the bridge, and this is the tail piece right here. This is the chin rest. These are the F holes, 2 F holes on either side, and this is the fingerboard, this long black thing where your fingers are on, and this is the nut up here where the strings come over. This is the scroll. So those are the parts. These are the tuning keys. Tuning keys are going to be some of the challenges, and we'll talk about that. But basically, if you need somebody to come and tune you, well, Marlene, you could probably help them with that, right? Because this was in tune. This blue one's in tune right now, and it doesn't feel like it's slipping. So, but what I want to point out here is between the bridge and the fingerboard, when we bow, once we have that grip on and we pull our bow across, we want it to pull across halfway in between this bridge and the fingerboard. So about right here, okay? That's what we're aiming. That's what we're aiming for. So when we pull that, and we want to pull it at a right angle or to the strings, or parallel to the fingerboard, the end of the fingerboard, or parallel to the bridge. So you have the tail piece. Boy, everything's backwards here. There's the fingerboard. There's the bridge. Halfway in between is about there. And we want to pull it. When we pull it, we want to keep the direction backwards. That's like playing in the mirror, isn't it? Okay. So we want to kind of keep that in halfway in between as we bring the bow, bringing the bow up and down. We want to keep it at that angle. All right. So now I'm going to play it like this and see if I can make you. See how the fingers are all leaning kind of slightly forward. They're not They're not perfectly straight like that, are they, buddy? And they're leaning kind of forward like that. And that gives you, also, once we switch directions with the bow, you'll see why you're doing that. So, what else do I want to say? So basically, halfway in between the fingerboard and the bridge, and the grip on the bow, which is farther than most people go on the first lesson, but he likes bowing so much. I figured if he was going to be messing around with that, I wanted to show him. So at least he would get used to holding the bow correctly, because he seems to like it. So, and what else? Tuning, if you need to, you can call me. And let's see, what else did we talk about? We got the parts, we got the grip on the bow. Oh, and we also talked about when we tighten our bow hair. This is the screw, righty, tighty, lefty, loose. When we store it, we want to see that hair. You see that difference between the hair there and now you see it come closer. Look, it almost looks like it's touching. Okay, see that? And it's all loose, right? That's how we want to store it in our when it goes night-night, okay? When we're done playing it. And then when we go, okay, I want to play my fiddle and practice, then we go righty-tighty until we get, say when. Is that pretty good? That's bigger than our finger, isn't it? We don't want to go much bigger than our finger. We want to have a little bit of bow left in here because that gives us some flex. If we go all the way to flat, it starts to, you know, I mean, you can do that, but it also makes the bow jump all over the string, especially at the beginning. Guys who play really hard, when they're going to nail into it, then they need to have it farther away. If you don't play, if you don't press down quite so hard, you can play it like that. And then you're still a bow. All right, and I think that's it for now. We might have to add something on another video, but we'll do that, and I'll show